Tommy then crawls over to Chucky's other toys and says, "Hey Chucky, let's play with Mr. Banana Head now." And Chucky says, "Wait, Tommy, before we play with another toy, we have to put away the blocks first." And Tommy says, "That's ridiculous, we don't need to do that. We have grown-ups to do that for us." But Chucky's like, "No, we have to put the blocks away. A tidy room is a happy room." This shows that Chaz has taught Chucky to clean up after himself. And I think that's a good idea. I think children should be taught at a young age to tidy up after themselves. Because when I was growing up, I was never really taught to tidy up after myself. It was my parents that always did it, more so my mom. And I've grown up to be a bit of a slob. So I think we should teach children to clean up after themselves at a young age so that they learn responsibility. I just wish that I'd been taught to clean up after myself. I was to a certain extent, because I remember one time my toys were everywhere and my brother told me to clean up after myself and he made sure that I did it. So I was to a certain extent, but not completely, because I remember that my parents always cleaned up after me, and now I've grown up to be a bit of a slob. Chucky then tells Tommy to put the blocks back into the box, and he just starts to throw them in. And Chucky's like, "No, no, 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 Tommy, that's not how you do it. Here, let me show you the right way." Chucky then says that you should put the blocks in size to shape, the red ones, the blue ones, and the green ones. After that is all done, Chaz puts the babies to bed, and Tommy tells Chucky that he really likes staying over at his house. And Chucky says, "Thank you, I like you staying here too." Chucky is then trying to go to sleep, and Tommy is continually talking, and ends up asking Chucky, "How do they make jelly green?" And Chucky says, "I don't know, Tommy. Just go to sleep." Then he tries to go to sleep himself. Then he suddenly wakes up and says, "How do they make it green?" The next day we see the boys eating breakfast. And they are eating sugar lumps which are in the shape of Care Bears. In the real world we would call them sugar puffs, but I guess the writers couldn't use that name because of copyright, so they called them sugar lumps. Tommy asks what they are, and Chucky says, "It's Dummy Bear sugar lumps. Why, don't you like them?" And Tommy says, "At my house we always have Reptar cereal." And Chucky says, "Sorry, but this is what my dad buys. Look, you get a free Dummy Bear's whistle inside." And Tommy says, "You get a free dinosaur in Reptar cereal." Then he says, "Oh, never mind. I like staying at your house, even if you do have yucky cereal." Which was a bit rude of him, but he is only a baby, so he doesn't know any better. Later that day, we see Chucky watching a Star Trek parody, and Tommy just randomly changes his channel to Reptar. And Chucky's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And Tommy's like, "Oh, in my house we always watch Reptar." And then he says, "Is something wrong, Chucky?" And Chucky was like, all mad and sarcastic, and he's like, "No, no, nothing at all." And he carries on watching the TV.